Bodies Podcast, WATP.
It's a show hosted by Dan, Trevor, Michael, and Don. And I'm going to start off because I think it's important to put this into context of looking at the hosts of this show. So from their website about page, you have Dan Oliverio. And Dan Oliverio is a chaser, a chubby chaser. And the chub that he's chasing is Trevor Keyson, who's also on the show. Now you see what those two guys look like based on their website. But what if we found a photo from Instagram that gave us a better understanding of what we're dealing with here? Wow.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, this is not just
I thought that was a bounce house.
It's not just an obese man. This is a morbidly obese man.
Wow, we were.
Dude, this changes everything I listen to. Like,
Yeah, right? Pat, where do you put the over-under on this gentleman's weight in this photo?
it's 500 at least, right?
It might be. It might be a Phil Elmore and a half. That is a big man.
That's double. That's double Elmore. That's a full Elmore.
Whoa! Double Elmore.
Full-size Elmore.
Oh, no. And then we have Michael Willer, who's a chaser, another chubby chaser.
Seems like a normal-sized human.
Oh, did I mention these two are a couple? Trevor and, and Dan are a couple. Okay. Sure. And then we got Michael, who's just a normal-looking guy. And then we have Donald Marshall. And if we want to see the whole gang, and not the photos they chose for their website, it would look a little something like this.
Just the six of them.
Holy shit.
Wow. Okay. So now that we have that in perspective, this podcast really lived up to the name, the Big Fat Gay Podcast. Yeah. It's got everything. It's got it all. It didn't leave anything out from the description of the show. So I'm going to start off. Adam Thoreau, who suggested this show, put together a little package for me from an episode that we didn't listen to. But I think you'll understand exactly what they're talking about because the episode we did listen to is very similar to this, it seems like. This is a big fat gay guy asking another big fat gay guy where he avoids going because of his size.
What are some places that you avoid going because you're concerned about them being able to accommodate you? And here was his answer. Please hold your questions till the end. Salons/spas, small airports with public.
We'll go slow.
No, I want to read the whole list first. Booth-infested restaurants, amusement parks, seasonal attractions, Halloween, Christmas events, public restrooms, medical facilities, especially cosmetic-heavy ones, government offices, zoos, friends' houses, etc.
Friends' houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid.
I get that.
I've had more than a few friends who are like, there is no chair in their house that I feel safe on.
So basically, like, where are you uncomfortable in your body? Everywhere.
Yeah.
It's really the answer.
Zoo.
I know, the zoo. And how the fuck did that get worked in?
Why narrow it down to friends' houses? Does he just surprise strangers?
They get to do a whole conversation about friends' houses, and they're worried they're going to break something. I have a clip on that later.
Well, it's a valid fear. I
Well, listen, if you own a ranch, it's fine. But if there's a second floor, all bets are off.
How does he get in their house?
That's a good question, too. Yeah. You have a sliding glass front door, hopefully, or
just Kool-Aid Man style? Like, what do you do?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you want to come upstairs with me? I want to show you something. Yeah, I'll just wait for the elevator. Oh, yeah, we don't have an elevator. All right, well, never mind. We'll hang out down here.
You got a crane, right?
Crane. Some kind of pulley system. It's like something.
So someone in the chat over here, Drunk Engineer, was asking if maybe the gym is a place that they find uncomfortable. And that actually leads into the next clip here.
One of the places that I've been afraid to go to recently is, and I don't think it's unique to fat people, but it is one that I've definitely had my entire life, is just places where public nudity, right? Where I'm expected to be naked in front of the world.
Do you mean naked or just shirt off?
I mean naked.
All right.
Right?
How many places are those?
Naked public beaches, Korean spas, a lot of health clubs.
A lot.
A lot of health clubs. Like, I'd go to the gym, but man, you got to get in the locker room. It's a whole thing.
No one's going to see his genitals.
That's a good point.
Korean spa. Oh, Mister, this too much. This too much.
You giving you a full hour.
You fat pig, you go now.
Yeah, what a weird list. Because even his buddy is just like, what do you mean places you have to be naked? What are you talking about? What kind of society are we living in? It's like,
But he can be naked and be covered because his gut's going to cover his dick.
Right. That's the thing. Like when I watch My 600-Pound Life, and they always have to have those humiliating shots of them taking showers and stuff like that, they barely have to blur nudity. Right. It's amazing. You can just see a naked guy, and it's fine. I mean, it's not fine.
Carl.
It's great.
It's fucking
so
Carl.
great.
God damn it.
212.
I'm the worst. All right.
Yeah, there's rumors about you and Kevin Brennan now. Watch out.
So Las Vegas is also a fat, unfriendly place. And one or two of these guys live in Vegas. So let's find out why that is. Because when I think of Vegas, I think big. Everything is big, right? I can't imagine it's hard to navigate a place like Vegas.
And so many buffets.
Yeah, right. There's food everywhere.
He is not welcome.
Yeah. No, all he can eat. Not all you can eat. All he can eat.
Like Las Vegas, of all places, surprised me as being fat unfriendly. In that, like, I could find seats. No, I could find seats
find
and
seats.
everything.
Yeah.
That wasn't an issue. But like the distance across some of these casinos
Sure, but
to get from here to there, there's very little option.
okay, so that's a good example.
So it's fat unfriendly because it's a large room.
He doesn't mind taking up 3 slot machines, but just don't ask him to go to a different one.
That's hilarious.
It's also messed up that he's calling himself fat. It's a different word. You know what I mean? Like fat people, you're 300 pounds. It's tough, but that's a whole different spectrum of human.
Right. As soon as your flight costs you twice as much as everyone else, you're in a different category, I would say.
Infinifat.
Infinifat's a good word for it. There's actually a number of words for it that we've used on this show over the years. So I just thought that was hilarious because they're complaining about their friends' houses because they might be too small, but then the casino's too big. They have to walk all the way across. Don't they give them those little scooter things at casinos?
Come on.
I mean, I don't want him to embarrass himself.
Yeah, he's just
You
wearing a
wouldn't see
muumuu.
the scooter. It'd just be a wheel out of his ass like a Heeley.
He's more machine now than man. He stands up, it's still attached to him. All right, so then they're talking about when they get a room in Vegas and they have rooms for handicapped people. And this is based on the Americans with Disability Act, where the hotels have to provide this. And they, for some reason, complain about these rooms.
Fat and disabled are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Because usually we just need, we need, like if we get an ADA and an accessible room, it has a lot of accommodations. And not only do we not need all of those accommodations, but some of them are actually in the way. Like we don't need a closet with a 3 foot high closet rack. Mm-hmm. We don't need a doorbell that makes all the lights go on and off.
So they're mad at deaf people and short people. They're like, why are they fucking accommodating these assholes? I've been eating nothing but fat all my entire life, and I need things for me, too.
And I need more space.
Okay. I don't know why that's something you would complain about.
Yeah, I wouldn't start that.
Why is he traveling? I would never leave my home. I'd be like Walter Hudson. They'd have to rip the wall down and get me out.
Right. That is an odd thing because everything's uncomfortable. Everything you do is uncomfortable. But they want the world to change for them. We'll get into that. These are people, and this is what's so annoying about this. If this guy was like, I let it get away from me, and I need to change, that'd be one thing. I'd be like, all right, it sucks, but I get it. But this guy is literally like, no. This is my body. This is my ideal weight, and everyone should cater to me.
Deal with it.
Yeah, it's like, no.
It's the chaser's fault. If nobody's fucking that guy, he'll lose weight. But he's getting ass.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing, too, because the whole idea that you have these chubby chasers, and there's actually a website for it that we're going to get into called Bigger City. It's a dating site for chubby chasers, for chubs and the chasers. It's fucking nuts.
Bigger city.
Bigger City. But
Swipe your hoof right or left.
But what these guys don't seem to realize is that this is a fetish. And the fetish is fine. I don't care if you have a fetish or whatever you're into. but you shouldn't justify someone's gross existence because of your sexual fetish. And that's what this is turning into. It's like, well, this guy with a weird fetish wants to fuck me, so I should be 500 pounds. Wrong.
Seems like more of a contest than a fetish.
And there are no winners. There are no winners in this contest.
Who throws up first?
Are you going to eat that again? All right. So this is a fun fear that they have in hotels.
My greatest fear, the toilet getting ripped off the wall.
Right.
Me on it.
So there are toilets that aren't mounted on the ground.
Yeah.
They are just
They're
stuck
mounted
into the wall.
to the wall.
And
with a gap underneath.
And why you would do that is so you can clean underneath. You never have to clean behind the toilet.
Yeah.
It's just one smooth surface of floor.
There was a moment recently where I was in, it was a public restroom with a wall mounted toilet, and there was like an audible groan.
Oh, no.
When I sat on it. But it was also, the handicap stall. So I was kind of like bracing myself.
That sound that they use.
God,
like when the ship
Trevor, that's
is
a
flying,
nightmare.
it's like,
I'm so sorry.
Could you imagine you sit down in the toilet to take a shit, the toilet breaks, and next thing you know, it's like you're sleeping next to John Melendez. You're covered in shit. You're on the floor in the bathroom. It'd be horrible.
It wasn't shit. It was blood.
My hemorrhoid blew up. It wasn't embarrassing. I wasn't embarrassing myself.
No, it happens to everyone.
Yeah. Well, John literally said, we got point down, one point today. We'll talk about it. No Southern John on today's show. Don't worry. We're not doing a John segment. But he literally said that it was hereditary, his hemorrhoids.
Oh.
And he throws everyone under the bus. My mom has them, my sister, my brother. It's like, I'm pretty sure they don't want you talking about this.
Yeah.
Just because you're not embarrassed. And you should be. Yeah.
And his sister had
I don't know if anyone in my family has hemorrhoids. We don't have that kind of conversation.
Right. Good point. Yeah. I see the preparation H in the drawer when I go over for, food or something. I just don't say anything. I just don't bring it up. It's not a point of conversation. All right. So let's talk about bicycles. Because bicycles can be tough to ride.
Right? Like, I would love to take a bicycle ride. I don't trust the idea of sitting on a bicycle seat because they look very small and I have a lot of weight pressing down on them.
True. Although, one of the things we do is Trevor and I travel with a portable shower wand. But it's basically, I guess, just a cheaper version of what we have at home.
Yeah.
So when you get a handheld shower in almost any hotel, it has this daisy head, which is big. And one of the things you want to do if you're really fat is you want to be able to get the wand in your folds, because to have to lift the fold to put a big sunflower there is not exactly convenient. So we travel with that, and I think there should be a way that you could travel with. I'm going to hate saying this, a bicycle seat.
They're going to bring their own bicycle seats. Of course, they would bring a banana seat, but they'd probably eat it.
Their own. It's not for both of them.
Right.
Trevor doesn't need a wand. He doesn't need a seat.
I would like to watch him ride a bike, though.
Oh, God, that'd be hilarious.
I like to watch him wash the flaps.
For a little while.
I appreciate he's putting in the effort.
Yeah,
That's
it's
impressive.
better than not washing.
All right, so what is the solution?
Car wash.
Because they're talking, nope. Because they're talking about all these fat, unfriendly places. We got to get a solution to this.
What is it that we're talking about? Places that we would like to go and are apprehensive about going, or maybe even can't go as fat people. And what does that feel like, and how do you tackle those challenges if we can? Dan's already been talking about some.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure what the solution is.
Lose weight. He doesn't know what the solution is. It seems pretty obvious. No?
Not that one.
I don't even know what the solution is.
Stop feeding him. Jesus Christ. That must cost a fortune, too.
Oh, God. I can only imagine.
God.
I can only imagine. All right.
It's glandular. He doesn't eat.
Oh, wow.
There's a guy that used to be friends with my wife. He's actually pretty well known. I think he was on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, I know.
Pretty well known around here, especially. And we used to have these New Year's Day parties over at my wife's old house. And I watched this guy sit and eat every cookie that was on the table for 5 hours straight. Didn't get up to use the bathroom. didn't do anything but eat cookies the entire fucking time. This is not, and then they could play it just like, well, I'm big boned.
Like, Carl, come over here. I'm busy. I'm watching this.
Right. Yeah. I really was just fascinated by the whole thing. It was something else.
No, wait. Shh.
That's a macadamia nut. Ooh. How's it going to pass that?
My David Attenborough impression. You see him in his natural habitat.
It's a natural habitat.
What's the guy's name?
I think it's David Attenborough.
Sir David Attenborough. Yeah, you got it.
No, the 600-pound man.
As the behemoth reaches for another cookie.
All right. So Donald is talking about this theater he went to. Now we're going to the episode that Pat and I checked out. He goes to this theater and he recommends it. You guys got to go to this theater. It's so amazing. This movie theater. And of course, Trevor, the giant man, has a question for him about it.
You step into the space. The entire theater is this 1930s Art Deco take on Dante's Inferno all the way through.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. It's beautiful.
How is the seating?
How is the seating? Because he's thinking 1930s. Not a lot of morbidly obese people back in the 1930s. It's kind of a new phenomenon if you think about it. Mm-hmm. You ever look at those old photos? Like I have a photo on the wall over there where it's all these people lined up for a Cubs game in 1945 for the World Series.
Yeah, the fattest person is under 200.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There are no fat people back then. It's incredible how that works.
You couldn't even walk in the tunnel to Wrigley Field.
Right. Yeah, they wouldn't let you in. It's like it's a baseball stadium. I can't get in. You're like, no, you don't fit. It doesn't work. All right. So we were talking about how when you go to friends' houses, it can be very uncomfortable when you are a land whale. And so they want their listeners to write in.
As we mentioned last week, send us your fat-friendly home tips, or even just like if you don't have a tip, but you have something you run into at a particular friend or family member's house, we can come together and figure that out.
That includes things that you want to do around your house to make your own living better, or things you wish your friends might do when you're visiting their home.
Or things that really don't work.
Yeah, and noting like what might make you think, oh, I've been to that friend's house, and that's a scary subject. Going to the bathroom, I think, is probably a pretty common one.
Yeah.
We've all had that wonderful friend whose company we enjoy and whose house we're terrified of breaking. So
They're terrified of breaking their friend's house. See, this is where shame should exist in your life. That should be something that you're shameful about, and you make changes based on that shame.
Or writing a letter to say, hi, I'm fat and I have tips. That's also shame.
Yeah, right.
I pictured Dan like, hey, Trevor, check out the trophy room. You're going to love it. Oh, there's China in here, too.
Such a dick move. All right, so then they start talking about this article they see on The Sun. And the publication, not the planet.
That looks like me in a yellow shirt.
Do you have a twin?
And here's a picture of a school bus. Here's other things, fatty.
Okay, so they're talking about this article where people are trolling this TikToker, Bethy Red, for what she's wearing.
I mean, to be fair, these are the kind of like new.
They are booty pants. They are
booty
like
pants
all up in there.
when I opened the article, I'll admit, for a split second, I'm like, why is she doing squats naked?
Yeah, because they're flesh colored and or her flesh colored.
But it was like literally half a second.
But she is not the first person in the world to wear, ass hugging, flesh toned leggings. Like she didn't invent this by any means.
Well, and she is strong and she's doing the exercises correctly.
Holy crap, she's strong. Dan, what's the exercise called when you're reclined and you have to thrust your pelvis upwards?
Hip thrust.
Okay, so I went to go check this out. Like, why are they talking about this woman? Apparently, she has a TikTok thing where she just works out in the gym, and you can watch her work out. This Bethy Red. So I found the exact video they're talking about, and I thought I would share that with you because it's like people wear pants that are maybe the same tone as their skin all the time. I wouldn't think that'd be too big of a deal, right? And then you see this.
Oh my god! Oh. Holy shit!
Oh. So I'll just point out, this is a very big girl who is doing these pelvic thrusts that we heard all about. And it looks like she is bottomless. Producer Chris will not be getting a boner this weekend. All right, that's enough of that. We get the point.
She can fuck a lot of weight.
What's great about this Bethy Red person, so it's someone who's overweight. On her TikTok page, it says, "Welcome to my boring life, not a weight loss page." She wants to make that very clear. I know you see a gym and you're triggered. It's very traumatic. Don't worry. No one here is trying to lose weight. That's not the point of any of this. But what happens, though, is when you watch these videos, the algorithm thinks, oh, you're into fitness videos. So this is very scary for Trevor.
But just a trigger warning for people who may click this link and watch the video that loaded immediately afterwards, for my viewing at least, was a weight loss video.
Of course.
So
it's in the sidebars. It's everywhere.
What a shock.
Yeah. Just know that going in and maybe click away.
Oh my God, there's a weight loss video. Click away. Click away. It's like a jump scare.
Yeah.
Don't look. Jody B says TikTok. I like that.
Nice. That's where they should put them. I don't see any fat people on my TikTok.
No, I don't either. I just see girls with Tourette's who have giant tits. TikTok knows my type. It's a very good algorithm.
I was going to say, yeah. It's a nice
well.
algorithm.
Sounds amazing.
Okay, so more on this Bethy Red article they're talking about, this video.
Part of her brand is, this is not for weight loss. This is exercise. This is for whatever you use exercise for, but not weight loss. Like, that's not her goal.
It's everything you would want in a... Yeah. Is fatfluencer a word?
I love that the guy doesn't know what exercise is for. This is just exercise. I don't know what that does or why anyone would do it, but it's exercise. You guys familiar with this concept?
Nope.
What the fuck? Whatever you use exercise for. That's something else. All right.
She might by mistake lose a pound though, so she gotta watch out.
She better be careful.
She was doing like 40 sky fucks. You could lose a lot of weight doing that.
3 reps of 40 sky fucks. Careful there. Okay, so we know that gay marriage is not legal in this country, but they want to go beyond that. They want what they call fat liberation. Apparently, the fat people are being suppressed in this country. Probably the patriarchy's involved. I don't know. I haven't done a ton of research on this yet, but let's find out how we can achieve that goal.
What got us gay marriage was people coming out, people finally coming out and saying like, well, you know me and I'm gay. And I think what this does is like fat people showing up in ordinary or sometimes extraordinary, circumstances, like winning races. Mm-hmm. People don't expect that. And I think it's sort of normalizing the fatter body, which is exactly what we need to push forward fat liberation and things like that. That that fat people aren't relegated to, hunkered down eating ice cream in the middle of the night, which is where a lot. No, that's sort of the environment that people picture fat people. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's one of the environments.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't have to be in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's not that far-fetched, is it? There could be a
they
freezer
need
in the
to be
bedroom.
liberated?
Yeah.
They're fat.
Right. The problem is you. It's not society. And if the whole liberation movement is they want bigger seats on an airplane, we're all for that. So I'll get behind that part of it. Sure.
You can have your own plane.
Sure.
And gay marriage is legal because attractive gays were getting married. We're like, that's fine. Those pictures look good. 2 fatties, I don't care who they fuck. Just don't get married.
Fat marriage illegal in Panos America.
Not 2 of them. You can do
I'm voting for you.
Yeah, I would
vote, my
like
friend.
to subscribe to your newsletter, Pat.
Now, you don't understand this. These guys have suffered a lot of oppression, and it's been a tough go for them.
Like when I was a teenager, I didn't have the option to leave sports. I don't know about you guys, but like
to leave
as a guy, like you were expected, you are going to continue participating in this. You don't like that sport? You better go find another one because you have to, you know. I ended up playing volleyball on the volleyball team for 2 years because I felt obligated and had to.
Weird.
Yeah, that is weird. There are a lot of people in my high school who didn't play sports. A ton of them. It's not like every guy has to be a pro athlete. It's not how that works.
No, but the coach always found the fat fuck and tried to make him a pulling guard. Like
Yes.
he always tried to get that one kid in. If he was that big, I don't understand how he plays volleyball.
I would have picked volleyball for him. Yeah. Spike it. Come on. I set you up. Why aren't you spiking it?
It's wearing the Brazilian shorts. Like, no, please.
His 7-centimeter vertical leap. Watch out. So, yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Apparently, he was forced to play sports. Didn't really explain who forced him or how that was pushed upon him.
It was a health code. Like, they thought he was going to die. You got to sweat.
Yeah. It probably was gym class because sometimes these people get these things confused.
Yes.
Because, yes, you do have to go to gym class. That's not sports. Yeah. I had to play sports all through high school.
I got sports third period.
That's funny. And now they decide to shit on the one thing that I enjoy doing. And I don't appreciate it when people come and fuck with my rights as an American.
There is a big difference between the female experience just in life in general. And one thing that I see all the time is, men mocking the women playing the same sport that they play.
Oh, yes.
And that doesn't happen the other way around.
Yeah.
That's very much
very
the men looking at the women saying, look how inept you are. Look how slow you are. Look how terrible you look trying to do something you can't do.
Well, the whole cliche of throwing like a girl, running like a girl.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, all these good jokes are coming. These guys get it. Pretty good stuff right there. Look how inept you are. These guys have no idea how to rag on someone.
Oh, the commentators also suck.
And now we have female officials in the NFL. Don't even get me started on that.
Well, at least there's still a few cheerleaders left.
Oh, thank God. All right, so let's get into the main topic of conversation. Now we finally get to the heart of the matter, and what happened I brought it up earlier. Trevor updated his profile pic on Bigger City. Bigger City is defined by them as the premier dating site and community for gay chubs, chasers, and bears. Chubs and chasers and bears. Chubs and chasers. Okay.
My.
That's pretty scary.
Wait, but they're not chub or bear. They're so much bigger than a chub or a bear.
Well, thank you. Because I know chubby chasers from my weird hetero straight world. And no one's talking about fucking a 600-year-old or
This guy's
girl.
man bear pig.
He's half man, half bear, and half pig. All right.
Yeah,
So-
I know guys who are chubby chasers, but they're like, oh yeah, she's 180. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah. Like, she would be hot if she dedicated herself for a summer. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we talk about when we're thinking chubby.
Yeah, if she wasn't 4'11" and she was 5'6", she'd be hot. You stretch her out a little bit. That's all.
So this guy changed his profile pic, and this is the beginning of his big issue that he wanted to bring to the show. Again, this is Trevor, the very big man.
I've taken some saucy pictures lately that would be good profile pictures. So I updated it, and
Gross.
I got an influx of messages.
Dipping saucy
which
pictures.
I will say we're mostly positive to, neutral. But there was one that stuck out as like this is what's wrong with the community kind of thing.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so this guy took some photos to attract the chasers out there, and he posted a new profile pic, and he started getting a bunch of messages. And there's one specifically he was taken aback by, and he wants to read it for us, okay? Be ready to be appalled on behalf of this poor fat man.
I'm clutching pearls right now.
All right.
So I don't know. This is the tale as old as time kind of message. Wow, would I love to get behind that big ass and ride it? And this was from a picture of a headless torso, and their profile is looking for chub bottom. Discreet. If you are not in California or visiting the area, do not contact me. If I don't respond, you might not be a chub. Love a big thick ass and big tits. Tired of chasers contacting me. I'm a straight to the point type of person. Don't care for face pictures, nor do I share mine. That's not discreet. I only care to see ass pictures on here.
Okay, so the guy's on a hookup site, and a guy wants to fuck him in the ass, and he's offended by that.
Oh,
Why is that? What's the problem here? I'm confused.
it's like too much nudity in porn.
Right, yes.
No hookups. He wrote it in his bio.
So I can't imagine that this isn't the norm on a gay dating site. They're like, hey, if you want to hook up, I'll fuck you in the ass. You know, that you're my type, whatever. Probably sends out that message a few dozen times a day and sees what happens, right?
Sure.
And so one of the other guys on the panel, I think, kind of brings this up.
And this is not a
I don't mean to-
unique. Let me underscore
Yes,
that
this
letter that Trevor got, I can attest, is absolutely a normal, average letter to get, and that photo is always the photo on the other side of
Yes.
that.
Or no photo, or no photo whatsoever.
Or no photo at all.
Okay, right. So this is pretty normal and nothing that we should be alarmed by. But our boy is not going to let this go. He's very upset about it.
But I think it points out the complete disequilibrium between, chasers feeling like they don't even have to try and they're entitled to get sex, and that the chub is somehow required to go through all these hoops to merit, to deserve the attention of a completely ordinary guy.
Well, yeah, you're the fat bitch in this scenario. What's the problem?
Yeah.
That's how that works.
I'm the thing you want.
And you don't work on yourself at all. You've made it so that you're the laziest piece of shit. You do whatever the fuck you want. And then you're like, oh, and this guy thinks he's better than me? Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't go around breaking furniture.
Right, yes. When he goes to a friend's house, he's not worried about breaking it.
Yeah. What kind of bed do you need to fuck on?
Oh, no bad. That's too dangerous.
Yeah, you need shocks and struts on that bed.
I didn't know you had a waterbed. It wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
It's me. It's Trevor. Didn't you recognize me?
From pictures of my asshole? You don't know me.
Maybe you'd recognize me if I did this. But no, this message where the guy's like, listen, I don't want to have a conversation. I'm not looking to get married. I just want to fuck in the ass. If you want to do that, let me know. This is so terrible.
And think about the tone of that letter, right? Right from
Absolutely.
the tone all the way through is, you are inconsequential. Any desires you have in this situation doesn't matter to me. Don't ask me any questions. Don't ask me for any further information. Like, I have given you I've given you this, and this is what you get. You're done. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, and there's
how repulsive is that?
It's even worse. Absolutely. And there's even, Don, to underscore that, there's even a part of the ad that says, it's not that I'm in the closet, it's that you're not worth it.
You're reading into it way too much.
I'm so confused what the complaint is.
I'm so confused about this either. Just ignore it and move on. You're going to get a lot of messages from weirdos.
There you go.
On a
It's like he
fucking
thinks he's on
bigger city.
fatmatch.com, but he's not. He's on a hookup site, bigger titties or whatever. Like, they're trying to fuck.
Yes. I mean, if it's a site for gay chubs, chasers, and bears, I'm pretty sure it's not eHarmony. It's not the equivalent.
Right. Yeah. Eat harmony.
eHarmony. All right. But no, I mean, this guy was being very rude.
Can I just say, I think what you're both pointing to is, I don't care what you're after. I don't care if you're after, 20 minutes of fist fucking or riding off in the sunset together. There's no reason to be disrespectful, rude, or condescending.
Why? You don't even know this guy. Who cares? I just don't know why he's so mean to me. Like, who gives a fuck?
Imagine your fist getting trapped in there.
Oh, God.
You have to bite your arm off.
All right, what seems to be the problem here, boys? Well, doctor, what started as just a little fun. How embarrassing is that? Can you find out what's in his ass? Yeah, it's your hand. Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Imagine waiting in the waiting room.
They get the X-ray. They get the X-ray back. Okay.
You should just be happy if you're 500 pounds. If anyone's like, hey, man, I just want to fuck you.
Yeah.
You should be psyched.
That was my thinking. So the other chubby guy on the show, Don, he's having a hard time on the dating scene because he's been going out with these guys from the dating sites. And these guys, you won't believe this, these gay guys, they just want to fuck. I know. It's so weird.
It's very clear with some of the guys that I've been going out with where they're like, the personality inside my body is an obstacle that needs to be overcome in order to get at my body. And I've been feeling at that a lot.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. On the one hand, it's not personal. On the other hand, that's the problem. It's not personal.
I didn't realize it was so complex like this. I just thought it was like easy to hook up and everyone was having a good time.
It's like we go to a strip club and they're like, hey, eyes up here.
Do you want to know my real name? No.
Never.
I take her back in the back room. Like, do you got any photos of your kids I can?
Yeah. Got any books?
You mentioned you're going to school. What are you going for?
Let's hear that
I
script
might
you're
know
working
someone
on.
who can help you out. So now Don is thinking that maybe he has an unattractive personality because he goes on these dates and these guys are just like, all right, whatever. Can we just fuck or what's going on? So he tries to like put out an opportunity for the other guys to be like, no, come on, Doc, what are you talking about? And no one does that.
If I didn't have so many strong platonic relationships in my life, I would be starting to have lots of complexes about feeling that I have an unattractive personality. You know, that's the way I'm being treated by chasers. Like,
I feel like people think that I'm an unattractive person because of my personality.
Guys.
Anyone want to jump in and tell me I'm wrong about that? No? No one? Okay,
No,
fuck.
it seems like you're making a lot of progress here.
Damn it.
I can't suck all the way around.
Wait, I'm fat and annoying? Yes. That's what we've been trying to tell you. All right. I just have one more clip from here because we're still talking about Don. He's explaining these dates he's going out on where these guys are just staring at their phone. They seem disinterested. They're very rude. The one guy made him change where they were meeting to a place closer to his house because he couldn't be bothered with driving further to meet this guy. And then, so the question is, well, what are you doing on these dates? Are you going all the way?
So I'm just curious. So you had 2 other dates. Was there sex on those dates?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
So the guy's like, yeah, I meet up with these guys. All they want to do is fuck. They're rude to me. Do you fuck them? Yeah, of course. Okay, well, there you go. What do you think's going to happen then, retard?
Yeah, in the comments, people are putting out, like, it puts out.
Right, yes.
Who are these podcasts?